that were in the little monster maze. They're all kinds of monsters, and they're pencil monsters sucking and Anderson said, "Go on, I'll attack them." We each lose one of our teammates.
Ooh, it's like a serious game at school.
No, it wasn't a game. It wasn't a game at school. It was like in a dream.
In your dream, okay.
You know, in the bathroom, the pipes. Like you said, it looked like a face. You would get scared.
Yeah, one of the handles looked like eyes, and it looks like that.
I should like see things like where the pipes and our in her bathroom are. She's like, that's so scary face, and she won't want to walk in there.
Well, I think it's what I think we all, if you start looking at things, they'll take on form and take on shape. And I think a lot of times, especially with children, they're trying to tell us other things about what they're seeing. Yeah.
Look at it, I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's important to, again, to like face fears or go in and look at. Did you feel different when you woke up the next day after the dream with the things coming out of you?
Yeah, I felt.
Because your aura looks really good. I mean, you look like cleansed out of some stuff, or like you're moving through stuff. Just keep moving.
I am moving through
Like-
a lot of stuff right now.
I know. I'm telling
The
you.
first time I came here, I was like, in a bad place. Not a bad place, but I was very frustrated.
It's been a wild place. Look, she's raising her hand. Yes.
I want to get a good knowledge insurance in this house. That's what I said.
She wants a tour of the house. I love it. Of course you can have a tour of the That's so fun. She's cracking me. I love it.
I know you're serious.
It's a very interesting place. Yes, you can have a tour of the house. That's great. Oh my God. Anybody else have anything they want to share? Yes.
Just a quick question with my relationship or whatnot.
Or whatnot. Relationship or what? I love that.
Well, like-
No, I understand. Trust me.
Yeah, the circumstances in it and stuff. I've been feeling. I think my feeling. Emily is stressing a lot about the house and about.
Big changes. And
She's kind of falling a little complacent, like in doing stuff. She really isn't doing anything with just cell phone and ordering dresses and like going online and stuff. And, I never gave her a hard time about
Interesting.
it because that's just where she's at,
It's avoidance.
Is
Yeah.
it? Yeah, I mean, but I don't know. I don't want to go into detail, but I've made a mistake, and it's one of those things where I've had to face that on Monday, strangely enough.
Yeah, it was a big day.
It was like literally hell is what it felt like,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was my own crap.
Right.
It wasn't,
Right.
and that makes me feel better that you said that.
Oh,
That
please.
kind of confirms it.
Oh, every mistake ever
It's
made has been
my
in my face, like lately.
Secrets or
So, yeah.
whatever that need to be
Oh, yeah.
transmuted and released, and guilt and shame and just all
Right.
kinds of stuff. What do you recommend? I mean, and literally it felt like razor blades going through my stuff.
Oh, yeah. You'll feel it. Notice where it is in your body. Because you want to get that out. You want to get it, you don't want to have that, that's how disease happens. That's how we do die and get sick. And again, that's what's happening. We can't numb ourselves anymore. And again, that self-sabotaging that's happening for people it's almost like instant karma when you know something, especially right now, if you know something isn't right and you do it, it will be instant on.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait. It's just like right there.
That's what happened.
But instant good things too. If you do right action, you get immediate feedback that was
Okay.
the right action.
It feels like it's transmuting faster now. I feel
Right.
lighter and lighter. It's still, it's kind of, but what do you suggest for like breaking through something like that?
In your case, it feels to me like you need to like yell and scream, not at people, but maybe like
Hello.
maybe like I get in the car and I'll just drive in the country and I will yell and scream or just make really weird noises and I don't know. I mean, not where there's traffic and stuff. I'm not like one of those crazy drivers with road rage or something, but or I get stuff and I break it, or I want to get all that energy out of my body, and I'll just there's different. I think when I look at your energy field right now, I think what it is for you, especially you're in that last, especially since you're not only are you in big other changes, you're also, when we move, it's a shift and it's moving to a different consciousness. So you've lived in where you're living for 6 years. So you need to think about what happened, why you moved there, all the things that happened, you have to dwell on it. But then you're moving from very different space to this house.
Yeah.
And with a relationship, and so it's a whole different. And I think when people go from, because you're actually going from your space, Emily's lived there, but now you're going to go to an our space, and so all the stuff that's always scary to people when they move in together, or you're engaged, you're ready to get married. It brings up all the darkness. It does. Just know that it does. I mean, it's just, and it's better to bring up the darkness now and release it. Yeah, Kitty, that's Grace. Her name's Grace. And so what I would do also is notice, is there a cycle sometimes, do you think, with your self-sabotage, with whatever it was that you thought you did something wrong and then...
Yeah, it just kind of crept up on me, and I'd like to have I think we have some, sessions or whatnot.
We'll get together.
I'm
sure.
But it happened super fast. There were some people that I didn't really agree with, and it's not the end of the world, but it just, there's a cycle that goes through where I get super stressed and afraid or frustrated or whatever, and then I end up doing things that I regret,
Right.
So, I mean, I had a dream about something similar, I think I told you in our last session, and
Right.
It wasn't quite to that, The intention, and I talked to a friend about it, the intention wasn't negative, the intention wasn't even bad at all,
Right.
but the action, I'm so vague, I'm not gonna, the action, it doesn't matter what the intention was, the action wasn't
Appropriate.
right.
Right, and that can happen too.
It's the worst feeling
where
I've
you
felt since.
have like a
6
mixed thing, right? Well, and again, the way I would look at it, it's the last of that old energy of your patterns that were there.
Okay.
And see it as the last time you do that. That it's like, don't beat yourself. The worst thing you can do is beat yourself up about it, because that's how the dark forces work too, is to get you sidetracked and then get you feeling bad about yourself and feeling like you're a failure or you're this or you've done, and that's not the point right now. We're in a time of really grace, of that redemption and knowing that we are of the light and that there is another way to be and live, and that we can live that way. We don't have to keep living in the duality of the suffering. But to heal suffering and to heal the things that aren't right, we've had to experience it. We've had to make peace with it. And so there's the last rounds of things that are, again, how we sabotage ourselves, that are coming out. And again, I think it's really like the last round of some things like that. So
Right, yeah, that makes sense.
it's not like a permanent, it's not like you're hopeless, you're just going to keep acting like that.
Financial
things.
stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yes. No, the kitty's talking to you. I'm going to take a picture. Anybody else have a question or anything you want to ask? You guys are being quiet. Well, not real quiet.
We were doing our meditation, and when you were severing cords
Yes?
in meditation, I saw really just a bright flash of light.
Yes, there was. When we did the severing, I felt it like just, it was bright. The room changed.
I mean,
Yeah, I know. Yeah, when we,
All the many times that.
thanks for asking, because I felt it too, and I saw, it's like when we did that severing, I could feel electricity, and it was just wild, and I had my eyes shut, but it felt like the room got really bright, like it did a flash.
Oh, you feel alive. Yes.
Yeah, oh yeah, it was big, and that's why, again, what I wanted to do, because there's, in different traditions, there's this cutting of the cords, in Tibetan Buddhism, they cut cords and do things. But again, what Spirit keeps showing me is we have to pull things up by the root. It's just like when you cut down other things, they grow back if you don't get the root system, right? So you want to get, so that's why I think it was really bright tonight, because we really went in to pulling things out by the root.
That's interesting, because I was reading this
Were you
afternoon,
reading?
first time
Ah,
in a long time since I realized I was gonna be staying.
staying. Well, you're letting yourself stay in your home now, right? So you got into weeding, yeah. And it's a really good example, because I keep thinking everything is like our garden, and your garden's manifested. And if you don't like what you have, if you got too much corn, then, weed your garden. That's really what we're doing. We're in the garden, and it's our garden. And what you're seeing manifested, if you don't like it, change it. Plant new things. Pull up other things. Move plants around. Yeah, the literal action. Like I said, when I had that dealt with, I felt such a relief in myself that I was thinking, why in the world didn't I have that? Why did I? And it really wasn't even fear. It was like it was just weird. It was very strange. Well, and sometimes I think, well, I can't afford that. So, right. And don't deal with it, and it just gets bigger and more expensive or whatever. And actually, the person that helps me do things, didn't cost that much money at all. So, and he found this beautiful, he had to go to find a real cedar beam was quite a thing, but he found it, put in the outside. Yeah, so yeah, no, I'm glad you talked about that, because I felt it was very different when we cut the cords this time. It was a really different energy that came in. Yeah, very much so. Yes.
I'm really curious.
I know you're really curious, yeah.
Where's the living room?
This is a living room, but it's now where I actually see people, because I get so tired of being in a tiny little room. I like being in this big room to see people. But there's another living room in the roundhouse. You can have a tour. There's different. In my house, there's always, I make multi-uses out of my room. People always go, well, where do you sleep? Well, sometimes I sleep here, sometimes I sleep. Like I said, I sleep around, not with men. Sleep with my animals. Yeah, the little kitty, I have to spend time with her. So I sleep 2 or 3 hours with her, then I hang out with the dogs, then I go sleep with. You saw my routine at night. It's pretty interesting. It's actually, it is, because wherever I'm at, it's like there's dream. The energy's different for sure with the dreams, especially in here. This is like a wild place to sleep. Let me tell you. Yeah, it's the energy is like such an energy vortex, and in the roundhouse, there's different spots that have totally different type of energy going on. But yeah, again, I want to mention that anyone's interested, we're going to be having the Body, Mind, Spirit Expo on October 19th and 20th at the fairgrounds, and people will have really cool. Lots of beautiful crystals and lots of teachings, and the best part, the Tibetan monks from Drepung Lhasa Ling Monastery will be here, and they'll be doing the Sand Mandala, and they'll be doing the White Tara. So they'll be doing teachings and pujas, and it's going to be really spectacular, because when they do the Sand Mandala, it's not just it's an active meditation, and when you watch how they work and how fast in this couple of days they create this beautiful sand painting, and then they destroy it, and it's about non-attachment, and then they'll they give everyone a little bit of the sand, and they take the rest to the nearest water, which would be Fall Creek, to put that healing energy into the water. And it's a very real thing. And if you know anything about the fairgrounds, it needs to be cleansed down there. It's like and again, we're going to be on the north side. We're going to be in that big Farm Bureau building, not that all congested area. So there'll be lots of parking, lots of our own space in there, and it's going to be really, really good. I'm going to be talking about what white Tara is, and connecting, and why I asked them if they would do the white Tara, because we live in Diana. We live in our cities around the circle, around the feminine energy, to help connect your own bodies with the sacred geometry here, and connect and bring in that energy. So it'll be very powerful. Just to go, it's such a neat thing to come, and you can come anytime, and there'll be an opening ceremony on Saturday at 10, and a closing one, I think it's at 4 or 5, and but you can come anytime, and it's a big open. I have a booth right by where they're going to be, and you can come and watch them, and it's just neat to watch how they create these things. Just the mindfulness, the connection, and the focus and devotion, and you can actually feel the energy. It's fun. Bring kids. They always have to put a rope though, because when I brought them in 1992 to the museum of Minneapolis Museum of Art, a woman. This was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. She didn't. I don't know. We don't know if she was mentally ill. We don't know what. But after here's this beautiful creation, and they did the medicine Buddha, and it was just beautiful. She came up and put her finger through it. I know. People were like, "Oh my God." So yeah, and so they put kind of a rope around it. So people, and I think in a way I don't know that she even realized that it was. Probably wanted to, maybe she was attracted to the energy. Who knows? It was very odd. So people are very drawn to it in that way. So, but you can get very close and watch how they create. And that one was square. And I'm going to start putting some pictures up of them and them doing this. But the white Tara is round, so it's going to be a beautiful mandala. So it'll bring great blessings to people. It'll bring a great energy in. So it's just a little closing prayer to settle the energy. Again, I want you to just know how loved you are, how needed you are, and all the trauma, all the drama, all the things we've all been experiencing, let it go. Just let it be. Let it go. And feel that goodness. Feel that oneness that's within yourself. In accordance with each person's free will and highest good, we ask that last archetype of the saboteur, the parts of ourself that sabotage and destroy or block us from moving forward, we ask that to be healed. We ask that great blessings and peace will go with us tonight, tomorrow, into the dreams, into the days to come. And again, the last of the energy that's been moving through here, just let it gather up. The last of any negativity, any attachments that you don't need to be allowing into the body, mind, or spirit. And again, we ask the Archangel Michael to sever all those cords now. And in these next couple of days here, really go into that cleansing of the body, mind, and spirit, clearing things in your home, going within, and being still and knowing. So thank you all for being here tonight. I enjoyed seeing everybody. We will see you again next week.